welcome back. I'm so glad you're joining me today on this Wednesday Word of Wisdom. All right, so I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel and just hit that bell so you can be notified every time that I create a new video. You can also follow me on social media. All the links will be right here for you. That's going to be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I've even put these weekly videos into my blog and into a podcast if you would rather just be able to listen. All right, let's dive right in. I've started talking a little bit about how we go about achieving our goals. And I mean, my program High Achiever is all about becoming that. Somebody who moves from goal setting to goal achieving, starting to see actual results in our lives. Now, for most of us, we want what we want and we want it right now. You know, we wish that there was this magic something or other that is going to take us from where we are to where we want to be, so that we can achieve, so that we can see the success that we want in whatever area it might be. Maybe we want to lose weight. Maybe we want to be a better parent. Maybe we want to be a better spouse. Maybe we want to achieve more at work or something to that effect. And we're not seeing the results that we want to see in our life. And we tend to wish and hope that there is this magic solution that is going to just bring it into our lives right here, right now. Not realizing that there is a process involved. There is a shift in mindset that has to take place in order for us to start to see the results that we want to see in our lives. Your potential is sitting there inside of you. Your potential is not based on circumstances. It is the decisions that we make in our life, not the conditions of our life, that are determining the outcomes, the results, the future that you are walking into right now. You know what? And that potential that is sitting inside of you is directly linked to your passion, which is directly linked to your purpose. Now, for today, I want to very briefly kind of touch into a lesson that I teach in my High Achiever program. Actually, I think I might teach it in every program because of the intense level of value that it plays into our lives and into our results. Now, this is all about your mind, because you cannot outperform the quality of your thinking. So you're never going to achieve more, you're never going to be more, you're never going to do more unless you start to intentionally improve the quality of the thinking that you are applying to your circumstances. Now, I've seen this taught in multiple different ways where different analogies or different icons, different graphics are being applied to each of the parts of our mind. But the one that I've really adopted into my own world and that I like the best is that of the ant and the elephant. Now, you see, our mind has these two main components. They comprise numerous other little bits and pieces within those components. However, the two main parts of our mind include our conscious thinking and our subconscious thinking. Now, our conscious thinking mind, this is the part of our mind that we actively think with. All of those active thoughts that we have in our headspace are being done by our conscious mind. And so this part of our mind, it has very limited resources available to it. That's why if you're talking, you're not thinking at that same particular moment. That's why we can only retain so much, like the 7 digits that we can retain all at one time, because our conscious mind is trying to process them. It has very limited resources available to it. It processes information at about 2,000 bits per second. Now, our subconscious mind, now this part of our mind, it is enormous. It has huge amounts of processing available to it. It processes information at about 4 billion bits per second. And because it's doing all sorts of processes all at once, simultaneously, you wouldn't want to have to consciously think about things like your heart beating, or your lungs breathing, or your eyes blinking. It's also doing all of our cellular processes. It stores things like our beliefs, our habits, our emotion center is in there. And so because it is so big, that's our elephant side of our brain. The conscious thinking processes that we have, that smaller, limited resource that we have available, is our ant. And when we want to start to achieve more, when we want to see improved results in our life, we have to be able to get that ant in control of the elephant. And it can be a difficult task to do. But the thing is that once we get a hold of the elephant, life changes. Things change. Results change. But one of the things that we have to be able to do is get those conscious new thoughts that we are trying to train into our elephant to take that 6-inch journey from up here inside and really dive in deep and get that deep inside of us, start to change those core belief systems, start to change that inner way of thinking so that those results can come out in the actions that we start to take. And so if you really want to dive in deep to this concept, you really need to join me in High Achiever. For anybody can really reach their full potential, they have to learn how to capitalize on their internal talents, strengths. They have to be able to challenge the habits that stop them from growing in their process and manage things like fears and negative emotions that come up and stop us from really realizing the goals that we are setting for ourselves. So often we overlook the power of our elephant, our subconscious mind. And when we do, we lose such a huge part of our human potential. If our conscious and our subconscious minds are not aligned, we are never going to see ourselves getting the results that we want to get in our lives. We have to recognize that we far too often indulge our elephant habits and emotions and justifications. And not only that, but we also have to do something about it. Freud called these parts of our mind the id, the ego, and the superego. But all we need to recognize is that we can get in control of it. We can find the tools and the resources that are going to allow us to start to change the way we think, that is going to start to change those core belief systems and habits that we've developed so that we can see improved results in our life. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Go to extremeexcellence.ca, click the All Courses link, and click on High Achiever if you'd like to learn more. Thanks for joining me.
Get your daily dose of motivation on the Motivational Moments with Michelle podcast. In Motivation with Michelle podcast, you'll get encouraging, uplifting, and life-changing wisdom that will transform your world at your fingertips, 24 hours a day. Get a fuller, deeper revelation of the tools you can implement to see incredible transformation in your life from Michelle Neustadter's powerful teachings. Tune in whenever you need to be edified, uplifted, or a dose of motivation, no matter where you are. Subscribe to Motivational Moments with Michelle podcast with Michelle Neustadter today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SoundCloud. Is there so much turmoil in your thinking that it feels like your mind is an actual battleground? You have trouble falling asleep because it just won't shut off? Or you wake up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep because of all the thoughts? Or maybe you notice that you worry all the time, constantly thinking about the worst case scenario or all of the what ifs that could happen. And probably not getting the results that you would like in life, feeling like something needs to change. Well, that makes sense because how we think determines whether we win or lose in life. In the program Wevolve by Michelle Neustadter, we'll walk you through how to get back in control or maybe get control for the first time of our thoughts, our emotions, and the results we are getting in our lives. If you want tomorrow to be different than today, you are going to have to do something today to make tomorrow different. Otherwise, you don't have a new tomorrow, you simply have a longer today. Don't miss out. Go to extremeexcellence.ca and click Wevolve to get into this revolutionary program. Plus, for a limited time, if you complete this program and give your testimonial, Michelle will even refund you 50% of your enrollment fee. What do you have to lose? Space is limited. Secure your spot today.